With FinanceBoards, you can configure your investing dashboard with any of our 500 plus financial data widgets. In the Widget Spotlight series, we pick one of these widgets, explain how it works, and go over why it's a widget to consider adding to your dashboard. Today's widget is the Earnings Calendar widget. A company's earnings per share, or EPS, is widely considered to be one of the most important variables in determining a share's price. And it makes sense. A company's earnings, broken down by share, is a proportional way of measuring how much money the company you've bought shares in is making. Since a lot of this change in price occurs in the hours and days leading up to and following a company's announcement, keeping up to date on when a stock's earnings are coming up is vital. However, since companies announce their earnings on different days, following the earnings schedules of all the stocks you own can be challenging. The Earnings Calendar widget is a great way to keep track of a company's upcoming earnings announcement, and combining it with our other earnings widgets, such as the Earnings History widget you can see here, this gives you a good way to see when a company is expected to report its next earnings, as well as if it's expected to outperform or underperform its earnings estimates. The Earnings Calendar widget displays a few things. First one is the consensus EPS. So this is essentially an average of the earnings estimates of the analysts covering a stock. This is the metric you want to compare the company's actual earnings to determine whether a company's short-term price should increase or decrease. This widget also shows the ending date of the next fiscal quarter, as well as the expected report date for the next quarter. This widget also shows us the expected report for the quarter after next quarter and the next fiscal year, as well as the dates for the most recent fiscal year and the most recent quarter. With the summer earnings season in July, most companies have quarterly earnings reports coming up. So let's use this Earnings Calendar widget to look at when Apple, a company well known for outperforming earnings expectations, should be announcing its quarterly earnings, and thus its earnings per share. So the first thing we're going to do is update this widget to display Apple info. The third column, expected to report next quarter, shows us the date, July 25th, that Apple should be reporting its earnings. Apple's price for a short period after the 25th has a good chance of being influenced by whether Apple outperformed or underperformed its earnings estimates. If we're going to combine this Earnings Calendar widget with the Earnings History widget we see here, which was our first widget spotlight, and you can read about it in the description, this confirms that Apple has outperformed its earnings expectations for 4 of the last 5 quarters, because this column shows us the estimate for this quarter, and this column here shows us the actual earnings per share for this quarter. And here we see the difference. And 4 of the last 5 quarters have had positive differences. And if we scroll a little bit down, we'll see 11 of the last 12 have had positive differences. As you can see, keeping tabs on your stock's earning dates and knowing whether a positive or negative earnings surprise is expected is one way to gain an edge on when to make an investing decision. The breadth of FinanceBoards widgets is, of course, much greater than earnings info. Signing up for a free account below is a great way to explore all the widgets FinanceBoards offers. Also, if you're new to the platform, our 35-minute FinanceBoards demo, which can be linked in the description, gives you the knowledge to customize your dashboards with widgets like these and much more. We also have a weekly webinar, which again will be linked in the description, so be sure to sign up for that. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for our next Widget Spotlight series.